Okay, I'm good.
Yeah, you don't have an exam tomorrow or anything.
Nah,
Okay. Well, the rugby guys always tell, like, oh, I got to study, you know. Hello again, sports fans, and welcome to the program. This is Sports Chat, this March 19th, 2024, week number 830 of the program. And we're very pleased to have with us here tonight via Zoom, Jordan Stafford from Gettysburg College men's basketball team. Jordan, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, sir.
Of course, and I'm Jeff Cook, and Coach Dunn, Coach B.J. Dunn set this all up, so we want to thank Coach Dunn and Corey Smith. I would have been happy to have Coach Dunn on, too. I'm sure he's a engaging conversationalist, isn't he?
He definitely is. He would have loved to be on this show. I don't know. I don't know why he didn't.
I don't know. Well, maybe you snubbed that. We didn't give him. I mean, Corey tracked him down, and Corey is usually my co-host. He's engaged elsewhere tonight. So, Jordan, congratulations being the Centennial Conference Player of the Year, and on the very first Gettysburg College team ever to win the regular season Centennial Conference Championship. Is that right?
Yes, sir. In 123 years.
Yeah, and I know they, like 09, they won, I think, the conference tournament, but didn't win the regular season, and ended up having a nice run in the NCAA. But the Bullets got snubbed. Is there any equivalent of the NIT for D3 schools?
No, it's just the NCAA. That's it.
That's it. And it's what, 64 schools or 32?
64.
64 schools. And okay, so let's set the stage. The regular season title, you get the chance to host, and you play a Swarthmore team that, as within the last 5 years, I think they've made the Final Four at least once, and they have a great tradition. You knock them off twice in the regular season, and you have them at home, and bad circumstances, you suffer a concussion, and then you got down and could never make up without you and your offensive firepower. The Bulls couldn't get it done. So talk about how crushing a defeat that was for you, and let the viewers know that you are feeling better. That's what we talked before coming on the air. So a concussion, but you're just now starting to feel like you again.
Yeah. Honestly, it was a crushing defeat. Obviously, it hurts to lose 3 times in a row to the same team in the same spot, but it kind of just adds fuel to the fire because I got one more of the year, and I know we're going to get it done. We're bringing pretty much everyone back, so we're going to come out with a vengeance. I know that for a fact, and it's tough to beat a team 3 times. We just couldn't get it done. They just played a little harder than us. That's all.
Yeah,
And
I mean, they were winning the 50-50 balls, and sometimes that's just circumstance. Sometimes it's hustle, but it seemed like a lot of balls were bouncing right to them too. So sometimes it's just karma. Yeah, let's talk about that because you're coming back. Carl Schauer returning. Nate Williams, we talked about. I think he had 24 points in the second half or something like that. 27 in the second half?
Yeah, 20. No, I told him my bad. Sorry.
Okay.
27.
But yeah, so with you out and Carl Schauer in foul trouble, Nate Williams says, "Hey, I gotta be the guy," and he was, but he just couldn't quite do it all by himself, and didn't get enough help. I mean, it was a valiant effort in defeat, but I know Coach Dunn was devastated. You had aspirations of the NCAA, and like you said, now you're motivated. That's motivation in the off season and looking to get better. We talked a little bit about the roster, and back in the day, even 5 years ago, they used to hand out the paper programs to people that would come to watch games, and now it's all QR code on your phone and stuff like that. But since I was with the media, I got the actual printed roster, and I'm looking at where the players are from and where they went to high school, and we talked about the international flavor of Bullet basketball. Can you talk about that at all?
We got so many people from different countries, different places on our team, and it just creates more diversity, and it kind of helps us like be more experienced and more well versed, and like we learn about different cultures. We always talk about knowing each other. Like honestly, just hanging out with these kids, like you pick up little things that you would just never pick up just like, hanging around like the simple, regular old people, and we got 6'10" Serbian, 6'9" Cameroonian, 6'7" Haitian.
That's Akeem Joseph.
It's
He's from Haiti,
I can, yeah, he's from Haiti.
and he's
Yeah,
coming back next year.
he will be
So,
back.
I mean, is he considered a guard? I mean, I guess sometimes he's listed as a guard.
I kind of consider him as pitch to positionless because he can play guard, he can play forward, he can play wing. It doesn't matter. He can do it all.
And can guard anybody on the other side as well. I mean, defensively. Well, I mean, it's certainly a star-studded cast. Um, we called a couple games for community media near the end of last year, and Anthony Baggi from Italy, when he hit a three, I wanted to say buongiorno, but I never got to do it. But so he's graduated, correct?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Ryan McKeon, kind of your aircraft carrier in the middle. He'll be hard to replace, but like you said, you have a lot of depth, a lot of guys coming back. I mean, you carry 15 players on the roster,
We carry actually, now it's 15. Yep, so 15.
and there's no
And then,
JV game. You guys scrimmage a lot.
We only get about 2 scrimmages, and it's pretty much the only time they get to really play if we're on like JV or on the end of the bench. You're kind of playing. You have 1 quarter, and it's 15 minutes, and that's all you really get, pretty much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, guys come to practice because they want to get better, and it's always gratifying as a coach to see players improve. Yeah, so we talked about the returning nucleus, the international cast. What do you know about the incoming first-year class for next year? Any sneak previews?
Here we got a really good guard and a big man. I heard a guard that he just scored 1,000 points. He just won a state championship, so he's a winner. He can score the ball, and I think he should really help us. And then we have another big man who's also dominant as well, so he'll be a great addition to our team as well. And that's the only 2 commits that I know.
Yeah, you mentioned the 6'9" Serbian was a first-year player. I think he played in the opening game. We covered that game against the Muskies, a team that had 1 win last year, and they beat you guys. I guess you don't want to hear about that or talk about it. It was not an impressive debut for your team that year or this year.
This wasn't the ball just didn't bounce our way that game. It just shots weren't falling, and it was just a slow start for us. But we obviously recovered from it. But that kid Philip, he really helped us. He's gonna be really good for us. He's been in the weight room at least every day during the off season trying to get better, and he's also been in the gym. So we have high expectations for that kid next season.
Oh yeah, I mean I could see the talent and exactly eat your Wheaties, get in the weight room. So he's taken to the challenge, and that's great because he can. He looks like he's got some shot blocking ability, and he's also got a good handle. A European basketball player, so the Euro step, I mean, and the passing game. Talk about, I mean, it's not just learning cultures. There's a basketball culture too, and different countries place a bigger influence on team play. Can you talk about that aspect?
We actually have a freshman who is named Vule Sokovic, and his dad is actually a European coach in overseas, and he actually told me about how they have different concepts over there. So he was telling me because I want to go play professionally after I'm done college. He says more of a team game. There's not really too much one-on-one action. It's more about team. It's about passing. It's about the little stuff, cutting the right way. It's about the little like fakes and pivots in the lanes, little stuff like that. So it's a small aspect like that I kind of learned, and definitely we see it in the game too, because like there's times where Vule Sokovic and Philip, the 6'9" Serbian, will be on the court, and they'll literally know where each other are going to be, and they literally hit each other for a layup all the time. Just playing a 2-man game, and we call it the Serbian connection too. So.
I love it. That's great. That's great. Yeah, so 15 plus points a game, first team all conference, about 5 rebounds, 2.2 assists, at least 1 steal. So where do you go from here individually? I mean, you've received all the accolades, but I guess what it's all about the team. I mean, that's somebody who hasn't played a team sport. They don't understand how important that chemistry is. We didn't, without specifically talking about that point, we were kind of all around it.
And kind of what it comes down to is winning that Centennial chip and making a run in the SCA tournament. That's my biggest goal right now. And obviously, another goal of like individually is to get All-American next season and get on one of those All-American teams. And because I feel like I was snubbed this season, kind of, because on one list out on NABC, I was considered first team, all region, and then on another list in D3 hoops, I wasn't considered, not even on the first, second, or third team. So it's kind of, it kind of fuels me, and I will be back, and I'll be better. And for the team, we will definitely be back better than ever, and we will capture that elusive Centennial Chips Championship and make a run in the NCAA tournament, make some noise.
The women had a pretty good year as well with their head coach, Nate Davis. I mean, do you compete against them to see who has a better record? I guess you root for them, but also that's a motivator that they have a pretty good team too.
Yeah, it's a good motivator because it's kind of like, you don't want to be that team that like, because we ride with the girls sometimes and you don't want to be that team that makes the bus quiet because you lost. So, it's kind of, so it's kind of a little bit of pressure for us to win, but, it kind of motivates us. But we don't compete. We don't really like comparing all the time. So, we just kind of just play, play and support each other when we're in the bleachers and stuff. So.
Let's talk a little bit about Coach Dunn. My daughter went to Bates College. She was 5 years ahead of Coach Dunn, so they didn't overlap, but he played collegiately, and he coached at Vassar. Is that right?
Vassar, yes.
Before he came to Gettysburg? And in case people are at home are saying, well, that's a women's college. Well, not anymore. They have a men's and women's team, and he coached the men and came to Gettysburg about 6 years ago. And you talked about culture, and I think he deserves a ton of credit in that regard. Talk about Coach Dunn, what his expectations are. Is he a stern taskmaster? You don't have to divulge any team secrets or anything, but just in general, what's his approach?
Coach Dunn is all about pounding the rock, and that's pretty much our motto. And it's kind of just about increasing better day by day, and just making dents in the rock, and then at the last chip at the rock, it all splits, and then it all leads up. And Coach Dunn is about culture. He's always about just preaching the right things, and he is demanding because he was demanding this season. This is probably the most demanding he's been since I've been playing with him or been coached by him. And because he thinks he knew this team was very talented. He knew how far we can get, and he knew we could have made a run at the NCAA tournament. He knew we could have won that Centennial chip. So he was very stern this year, and he is all about culture. Though he told us from day one our cultural identity. He's always about how we have to be the team that plays harder than everybody else, smash mouth basketball, and we want to make it so when teams come to Gettysburg College, they're scared. They don't want to play us. They're afraid to be physical with us. And it's like, oh, should we play Gettysburg College today? That's how he wants to get it to. And I got to commend Coach Dunn because I saw an interview from his first day, and everything that he said he was going to do, he has done. And he said he's going to turn the program around, and he did. And he's turned the program right now, and we're on our way to becoming a great team possibly. So.
Yeah, it seems like every year you get a little better, and so the goals change each year, and certainly anything less than a Centennial crown, like you said, it'll be a huge disappointment for you and your teammates.
Also, Coach Dunn's a hard worker too. He's a very hard worker. There was times where I would just joke with him and say, I think I work harder than you, Coach. He said, He said, let me know when you wake up in the middle of the night. Start drawing plays up. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. Oh, I know. Well, I mean, they used to have this thing called noon ball at the college, and I played for many, many years, set a lot of picks, and I'm out there this one day, like this guy, he's a really tall player, and he can hit threes and take it in. It was Coach Dunn, but I mean, that's the modern ball player. If you can't hit the three, it's pretty hard to survive at any level. I mean, unless you're like a Jared Allen in the NBA or something. I don't think he shoots many threes. Shaq had one his whole career, but the modern game is the center's got to hit the threes, and so I mean, how do you have a shooting coach who works on technique? How's that fly?
Actually, I have a shooting coach named Wayne Nelson. We worked this summer pretty much on getting my 3-point shots to pretty much be fluent and just developing my 3-point shot kind of thing. We started with the mid range, starting close, and then we stepped back out and we kind of worked on the mechanics, and I increased my percentage by. I was shooting above 40, and last season I was shooting about 35. So it was a big increase for me this season.
No, that's great. So your season ended roughly what, 3 weeks ago, or give or take,
Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
So now you're in the off season. You talked about hitting the weight room. Is that it, or are you allowed to practice at all? Have meetings? What can you do?
What we can really do is we have optional stuff. So we have optional skill workouts every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4:30 that are led by the captains, because the coaches are not allowed to be in the gym. So the captains are leading those skill workouts, and we're just kind of developing, getting better as a team. We're individually getting better, and also we play pickup on Tuesday, Thursdays. And we're kind of just like working through it. We're playing individual basketball somewhat, but we're also implementing our plays and our concepts that we were taught by Coach Dunn. So it kind of benefits us.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you play in pickup games, the team concept can go by the wayside, but so you're playing with each other, so that lends itself to continuing the emphasis on passing the ball, finding the open man. If somebody's double teamed, that means somebody's open, and you got to find them. So we're going to go, we do this thing called Shining Star and Hottest Seat in Sports, emphasizing the good and the bad. Shining Star, I'm going to put Scotty Scheffler, the golfer there, in the PGA, and he won the Players Tournament for the second time in a row. I'm not a big golf guy, but we always name somebody as the Shining Star. Anybody you think we should include there? Somebody's had an excellent accomplishment in the world of sports in the last week or so? Anybody want
to? Let's see.
I guess.
I think. I was at the NC State.
How about NC State? Yeah, NC State.
I like NC State.
Yeah, I love that.
They
they beat what the top 3 seeds. And got the automatic bid, messed everything up, and Duquesne too, right? So, that's your pick, is NC State, the Wolfpack. And somebody's telling me they won it, and they won games with their best player out. I mean, so it was just a Cinderella story. And same with Duquesne. It's their first NCAA bid in something like 47 years. So hottest seat in sports, I'm putting Duke there. I went to Duke for law school, so, but they go out in the first round, but they're a 4th seed, so they could still make some noise. I'm trying to motivate them. Anybody who else should be in the hottest seat in sports? Purdue? They still got the top seed.
But Purdue, but they lost to Wisconsin.
I know. Yeah, and well, who do you like? I'm saying UConn to win it all, to repeat. Who do you like to win it all?
I like Kentucky to win it all.
Oh, that's right. You told me that. Okay. I mean, probably the Vegas. The odds are pretty long for Kentucky. But
They
are they
but,
still in the top 10?
They are, yes, the number 9. Yep.
And Coach Cal obviously has a great pedigree. All right, I'm writing this down. So this is our 830th show. So I keep notes about what happened. So you're here as our guest, and I'm going to record that Kentucky per Jordan, and I'm saying UConn. My son went to UConn, so I have a connection there, and my wife's from Connecticut. Anyway, so we'll go with them. And then what, the play-in game, there's actually a play-in game tonight, 2 games.
Yes. And actually, one of our Bullet alumni, Elijah Williams, who played on the team last year, is playing in this tournament too. He's playing
Howard.
in like about 20 minutes.
He's at Howard?
Howard, yeah.
So he got a
Yeah,
COVID
Howard.
year, and
Yep.
I can watch him from Dayton? Does he
Yes, you
play?
can.
How much playing time does he get?
Actually, he's been getting a lot of playing time. He got about 20 minutes last game off the bench, so I think
Awesome.
he should be playing a lot today. Their bench is really depleted. They have like at least 5 bench players out of the lineup right now, and the starter too. So he should be playing a lot.
True TV? Is that where you find it on the cable
Yes.
dial?
Yep. True TV.
True
Yep.
TV, Elijah. I heard that earlier, but yeah, it all
Elijah
came
Williams.
together. Elijah Williams, a great. I mean, he probably misses out on. He probably would have been a big part of your success, but you can't. Gettysburg's not a university, so you can't take the COVID year at Gettysburg. You have to go somewhere else. Correct?
I wish. Yep. I wish he came back. Honestly, that's that guy.
Oh yeah. A do it all kind of guy. And we have a phone call. Maybe let's go to the phone line. Welcome to Sports Chat. Hello. Hello. Hey, Robert, I got a guest here. This is Jordan Stafford from Gettysburg College men's basketball. Jordan, I have a regular caller here. He calls in with he's a Denver Broncos fan. And Williams Grove, he's a big dirt track fan, and Williams Grove, Gettysburg Times actually had the results in the paper. So is that what you want to give us, the Williams Grove results, Robert?
I do want to give you the results.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're going to start from the bottom.
Okay.
Number 5 is Chris.
Okay. 4.
Number 4 is Lance Louise.
Familiar name. Go ahead. 3.
Fred Kramer.
Fred Raymer, another familiar name. 2.
And the one that lives down the street from you in Gettysburg.
Oh, Danny Dietrich.
Yeah, that's the one.
All right. And drum roll, number 1.
And the one that lives in Gettysburg.
Last name start with an M?
It starts with an A.M. Anthony Macri.
Macri. That's what I said. Anthony Macri, M-A-C-R-I. All right. Congratulations to Anthony and all the other racers. Jordan has been kind enough to be. We're talking about Gettysburg basketball, but we can cover any subject matter. He says Kentucky's going to win it all in the NCAA. Robert, do you have any picks to win it all in men's basketball?
I agree with him. I agree.
You agree?
Kentucky's gonna win it.
See? God knows his stuff.
Wildcat Fever. That's cool. So, what about the NBA? Who do you like in the NBA, Jordan? I mean, first of all, what team do you like to follow?
I am a big New York Knicks fan.
Okay. Is Randall going to return? Are they still? Do they have any idea of when he might return?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think there's no timetable.
Yeah,
right now.
that's like
I know they
Embiid.
got-
Embiid with the
Yeah.
Sixers, but the Knicks have played much better without Randall compared with the Sixers without Embiid.
Very true.
Brunson, he's just been a revelation. There's a player that must work hard. He's gotten better every year. Tyrese Maxey, you probably like him from Kentucky. He's gotten better every year. So, what does it take to improve every year, as you've done in college?
Honestly, it's just about continually working every single day and kind of going over with the coaches what are my weaknesses and what I have to work on in the off season. My coaches make me a workout packet, and I pretty much just follow that workout packet, and I just constantly work every single day. I at least get up, at least get in the gym twice a day, and I lift at least once a day. So or lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's about dedication, staying in the gym, getting the reps up. That's all it is.
There was always this perception that basketball players, I mean, I'm talking 50 years ago or more, that basketball players shouldn't lift weights because they get muscle bound. But is it more reps with lighter weights as opposed to being able to bench press 500 pounds? Or what's the approach there for basketball players?
For basketball players, it's all about pretty much, I guess lifting. It is lifting lighter weight and getting more reps, and it's about quickness. So you're really doing us like the stuff we're doing is like not really weights associated. It's really with about lateral quickness, explosiveness to get stuff like that up, and possibly getting our legs stronger to endure it. So like in the fourth quarter, we don't have any dead legs. We're fine. We're the last team standing.
Mm-hmm. We talked about this before we came on the air, and I mean, Eddie Plank Gym, this is way before my time, but Gettysburg used to play LaSalle, Temple in there, used to be filled to the rafters with fans. I don't know this from personal experience. I've heard about it. So, do you ever play pickup games over in Eddie Plank?
Actually, we played a pickup game once last semester when the recruit came and we decided they wanted to play with us, but it was they have no air conditioning in that gym anymore. It's just straight it was like 80 degrees that day, and it was hot. It was a hot box in there.
Yeah, you burned a few carbs. And then when I was in school, Gettysburg was considered university division. We actually played St. Joe's in the playoffs my senior year down in Delaware. I made the trip to watch him, and Mike Bannon was a big star for St. Joe's, had a brief NBA career. And the Bullets played valiantly, but didn't prevail. So I don't know how many wins Gettysburg's had in the NCAA tournament. You probably count them on one hand, and so you guys can really make a dent if you can't go all the way. Like you said, have a deep run. And what does it take to be a D3 top 4 team?
Honestly, it takes just it's about kind of pounding the rock and getting better every single day. So taking practice seriously, taking the scout. So our scout that we get about teams, we take that very seriously. You look at depth, listen to what the coach say, execute the game plan, and play defense. That's the biggest thing.
And there's a little luck, too, avoiding untimely injuries like your own. So, Jordan had the concussion against Swarthmore in the third game, tried to go out there and knew it wasn't going to work. And we talked about Nate Williams' effort. And so that's part of for example, getting to the Super Bowl in the NFL. If your quarterback goes down, there have been occasions, Nick Foles, for example, where the backup quarterback leads a team to the Super Bowl, but usually that's when things turn south, when you lose a key player like that. So, and I know Coach Dunn, he said you can't win in the playoffs when you lose your best player, talking about you. So the guys rallied around you, but fell short anyway. You're a psych major. Go ahead, Robert.
I want to ask you something. How did you get that name that I put down for a trivia last week?
What about trivia?
I took that name down.
What was your name? I know you were. Oh yeah, yeah. You were up there near the top, Jordan. After sports chat, from 7 to 7:30, we do live trivia, 25 true false questions for worldwide bragging rights. You don't win anything, but we have a lot of people call in and have fun. So I'm the co-host on that too. And Robert, our caller, he plays trivia. He's one of the great minds of the universe. So anyway, you know, you need something to do, take a study break, communitymedia.net, can play trivia anytime you want.
But you never know what the name I'm going to use, though.
I know, we'll have to try to guess what it would be tonight. Now, Jordan, go ahead.
I want to tell you this much. It's game related.
Game related? You mean like
Yep.
hunting game or a sports game?
A sports game.
Okay, all right. Well, don't tell me anymore. I keep me in suspense. Now, Jordan, getting back to Jordan, our guest here, pound the rock, that has one connotation, as though you're just going to try to bull your way into the lane and throw it up. But like you said, that's more over time, the effort that it takes to get somewhere, that you're just constant in your effort, as opposed to, so there's multiple meanings to that expression, pound the rock.
Yep.
So
And
it could be like this. It could be like fishing, archery, or shooting pool.
Okay. Well, all right, Robert. I gotta talk to Jordan here. He's gonna hang up on me here. So.
you're fine.
All right. Thank you. All right, Robert. Thanks a lot, my friend. I'll try to guess your name. All right. I think he hung up. I hope I didn't offend him too much. So, psych major. Does that translate at all into what you do out on the basketball court? I mean, you don't do any trash. You don't do any trash talking, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, it does contribute. Kind of what I do is, if I'm kind of feeling a little overwhelmed before a big game, I go into the classroom and I meditate for about 5-10 minutes, and I just kind of just get my breathing right, just get my nerves calmed, and it's kind of what I do. And also, in psych is always about calming yourself and just maintain your emotions. And also before the game, I also pray before the game as well. So I go warm up the first time, and then when we come back in the locker room to go over key stats and go back and run back out, I stay back and let everybody else warm up again. And I just pray for about 2 to 5 minutes, and I just calm my nerves down, and it makes me feel a bit more confident about myself.
And you mentioned that, well, to play in Europe professionally, I guess it seems there's a league in almost every European country. Is that true, or?
Pretty much, but there's different leagues. There's actually up to 5 leagues. It's like 5 divisions. So it's the lower, obviously, fifth is the lower division, and then you go to 5, and it gets, and the difficulty of competition gets higher as you go up the levels.
Mm-hmm. So,
and
how do they have tryouts, or you send game tape? How's that recruiting process work?
The recruiting process works like pretty much sending your game film to different coaches or different teams, and they kind of look it over and they decide if they want to get in contact with you. And that's where the process starts. And then they start looking at your game tapes, start looking through games, and then you start the process of if they want you to be on the team or not.
And obviously, there are players that start out in Europe and end up in the NBA, like Jokic and Doncic and Wembanyama. I mean, are there any other dark horse stories of people that maybe their game developed so much after college that and through the European leagues that now they're ready for the NBA? Does anybody come to mind?
Overseas, honestly, this kid named Mike James. He's even though he wasn't really a big name in the college level, but honestly, he went to overseas and he became the all-time leading scorer in FIBA basketball, and he's just a very crafty player. He went to the NBA, played a couple years, and now he's back in Europe doing his thing and he's like the best player in that league. So that's one of the stories that I know.
I guess Kobe Bryant's dad played over in Europe. didn't he?
Yeah.
Joe Jellybean
Yeah.
Bryan, and he played for the Sixers. Jellybean, yeah, that was his name.
Right.
So talk about your high school career. How, for example, were you the same height that you are now, or did you have a growth spurt in high school? How'd that go?
Actually, I came in freshman year 5'11", and then I grew to about 6'1" my sophomore year. Then I grew to 6'2", 6'3" uh, my senior year. Then my sophomore year of college, I grew to 6'4". So
And so, have you always been a guard?
always been a guard. Yep, always.
So, I mean, having been not undersized, but not, you learned the ball skills and you didn't lose that handle as you continue to grow and gain weight. And so that's a good foundation for your game.
Definitely, and I was definitely a lot skinnier in high school, so I definitely put on some mass since coming to college, and that definitely has helped my game a lot, and it has took my game to levels that I never thought I could go. So,
Did you lift a lot in high school?
I did not lift a lot. I didn't lift a lot until COVID, the COVID pandemic broke out. That's the only time I really started like lifting a lot, and that's pretty much it.
I
College
guess
is really when I started lifting.
because there weren't any games. Could you even could you even have practice during COVID?
Honestly, we didn't have this is where I met the assistant coach, Coach E. I played with the AAU team, and we would practice outside the entire AAU season, where we were just outside. The coaches were
Yeah.
wearing masks. If you're on the bench, you had to wear a mask. It was crazy, crazy times.
I know. I told you I was a rugby coach. They said, well, after every person touches the ball, you should wipe it down. Like, are you kidding me? Can you imagine? Unbelievable. So, did your teams have success in high school?
Yes. Actually, my team, I didn't have success my freshman year, but my senior year, I finally had success. I won the conference championship right before before the season was canceled, and that was it.
How'd you end up at Gettysburg?
Actually, the COVID summer for the AAU team I was talking about, Jersey Force. I met the assistant coach here, Coach Elberg, and also known as Coach E. And pretty much he recruited me, and he saw something in me while I was playing on his team, and he started the recruiting process, and that's kind of how I ended up here. Took a visit. That's
Evan?
history.
Is that
Evan,
Evan?
yes.
I mean,
Evan,
he
Coach
played noon ball, so I played with him, so yeah. Well, that's and you feel it was a good fit for you. Obviously, you're still here.
But well, definitely, this is where I belong, kind of. So this Gettysburg community kind of helps me fit in, and it's a family atmosphere. So kind of love it here.
Yeah, and more and more international students. It seems all the time. I know we have them on the rugby team too, and it's a great thing. Like you said, you build the culture and learn about each other. We're all one race. We're all in it together. So it's a great learning experience for sure. So you also mentioned maybe getting involved, using your psychology degree in other ways. Share with the viewers.
Yes, actually, I'm looking to become a sports psychologist for a professional sports team, and I'm planning an internship with either the Washington Wizards or the Philadelphia Sixers this coming summer, and that'll definitely give me some experience that I need in this field.
The NBA teams, they all have sports psychologists on their staff?
Yes, most professional sports teams do. Yes.
And that would maybe involve a graduate degree also?
Yeah, so my plan is to probably go play professionally overseas in another country somewhere, and then come back and do grad school if it probably going to do grad school, and then look for a job after that.
Or you could, I mean, maybe go online and take some courses while you're playing. I mean, I guess you have to see how it all comes together for it. Well, let's get first things first. You got your senior year at Gettysburg.
Yeah, almost there. It's fast approaching. Only got about 2 more months of my junior year, so it's approaching fast.
There's a great tradition at Gettysburg basketball, the alumni game. I think the players really enjoy watching the active squad and seeing what talent they have. Do you interact with them at all? Have you had a chance to meet any of the alums?
Yes, actually, we have a basketball alumni board that kind of helps us get into the job field. So they help us get internships. They help us get more knowledgeable about how to be, how to find jobs, how to write resumes, and kind of just getting our feet wet and helping us through this crazy, the adult world, you could say. And also, I did interact with about two of the alumni, two or three. One of them is Kevin Kennedy, who's playing this team, Brent Slornoff, and also Joe. I had a chance to talk with them the other day, not the other day, but right before the Swarthmore game, and that's the alumni game that day.
Yeah.
And yeah, and they asked me, they said, how much points are you going to score today? I said, how much do you want? They told me 15 and 5, and I ended up scoring 25 and 11. So,
They weren't disappointed. Yeah. Well, Bruce Hager was in school when I went to college. He was at the alumni game. I guess he got a late cameo, got out there to run around a little bit. So I think the players really enjoy it. The women have an alumni game also, I think, don't they?
Yeah, actually, this year I think we actually combined the alumni game. So the men's and the women's game was combined the alumni game. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
A friendly, not as competitive maybe as sometimes it is, where they try to make two squads and make it fairly even. Yeah. What used to be the layup line is now. Do you have competitions on the dunk? Is there a dunking contest in the warm-ups? Who has the flashiest flush? Anything like that going on out there?
There is sometimes. There is. We have, we always challenge each other. We'll say, like, bet you can't do a windmill, or say, you got this in your package, you dunk like this. We have a lot of athletic guys on our team that can really play above the rim, and especially Malachi Briscoe and Keem Joseph, they definitely play above the rim.
Yeah, I mean, I think the people that haven't seen Bullets basketball in a while, they're going to just be amazed just when you come out and, like you said, high flying for sure. Well, listen, Jordan, we're almost out of time. Any predictions for who's going to win it all in the NBA?
I got the Boston Celtics this year. First time I ever had it.
I'm sure according to Vegas, I'm sure they're the favorite. They seem pretty invincible, where you have all five guys can shoot the three. And you got Tatum and Brown are so versatile. Porzingis, I think maybe was the missing. Well, Drew Holiday too. When you bring those two guys in, they got to be the prohibitive favorite. So I'll give you that. Meanwhile, out west, I looked at the standings today. There are 3 teams within a half game. Big game tonight. T-Wolves and the Nuggets. I think I'm going to tune in NBA TV. That should be a good one.
Yeah, that should be definitely a good one. I love Anthony Edwards' game. I actually wear his pregame, I'll say his drip and his armbands, because he wears armband right here and on his leg, and I kind of copy that drip, kind of copy that style, and I just really think he's a dynamic player, and I love watching him play. He gets after both ends of the floor like me, so I love watching him play.
The Ant. Don't they call him the Ant-Man or something? Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Do you have a nickname on the court?
They call me Staff, J Staff. That's really it. It's either J Staff.
Well,
or Staff.
maybe that could be a goal to come up with something, a little more dynamic.
Honestly, there's someone that came up with the catchphrase for me. They called it Stafford Storm. That's the little catchphrase.
I like it. Yeah. So, well, listen, you've been fabulous. I can't thank you enough. I will reintroduce myself to you when I see you in the flesh next season, before a game or after a game or whatever. Maybe get a quote or two from you. So, Anytime, you can watch some of the old games out of the archives on community media. We have them all up there for viewing. And like I said, I think there was one game that went to double overtime, and the Bullets beat Salem College out of Massachusetts or something like that. It was really exciting. But, well, listen, Jordan, thank you so much for being with us. Appreciate it, and all the best of luck to you this year. The final semester of your junior year, and next year your senior year. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Say hello to Coach Dunn, all right? I wish he would have been on, but this was great. So I think we entertained the viewers, and I wish you all the best. All right?
Same to you.
All right. Thanks, Jordan. Jordan Stafford, special thanks to Sean Garrett in the control room. And coming up just in about 10 or 15 minutes, it's trivia with a special guest host. Don't go away.